Welcome. In this video, I'm going to introduce the programming structures, which are going to be the topics that we're going to be covering in the next videos. So let's get started. So the first programming structure is called sequential. This structure is something that we have already been doing. I haven't really talked about it, but we have been doing this in the previous videos. Everything that happens inside of the computer occurs in a particular sequence. So imagine that I have this line, right? And this line kind of represents time moving forward as we go down. So, right, time always moves forward. I do something right now, and later I'm going to do another thing. And we can think of these actions as they are occurring in a particular sequence. Now, everything has a beginning. So this is going to be the start. And then everything also has an end. So this is going to be the end. Now, if we take a look at real life, think about the start of a day. What do? We first wake up, we open our eyes, we get out of bed, then we stretch, then we go and brush our teeth, and then, of course, depending on the person, from person to person, and depending on the day, we follow a particular set of things that we do. Each of these things that we do them in a particular sequence, right? We don't brush our teeth first, and then we wake up. No, we first wake up, then we can do the brush our teeth, and so on. So all of these things that we do, they follow a particular sequence. And each of these actions that we do, I'm going to represent them by these little lines along this line this longer line that represents time, right? In each of these lines, inside of the computer or in our programming language, what I'm going to call them is, I'm going to call them statements. Sometimes I will refer to them as also instructions, but I prefer the word statement for this. All these statements get executed by the computer in this sequence. The sequence does not change. You run your program and that sequence gets followed. If you close your program and you run it again, you get the exact same sequence every single time. There is no sometimes this, sometimes that. No, it's the same sequence. It does what it's supposed to do, and it does it in a particular sequence. And the reason I say this, and you might say, Daniel, that's obvious. Well, the reason I say that is because it's very fundamental. And in my time as a tutor, I have sometimes seen people get stuck up trying to fix something here when the problem is up here. You cannot find that you do not have toothpaste if you have not woken up yet. Now let's talk about the next programming structure, and this one's called selection. Now, just like sequential, we have what? We have a start, right? So let me say start. And we also have an end down here, right? Now, the difference comes here in this line. Now, again, using the real life example, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you have breakfast, you get in your car, you start driving, and you come to a corner, and you have to decide, do I go left or do I go right? Which path you take will define a sequence of statements that have to follow after that decision. So what do I mean? You start off again, you wake up, right, and you do some things. You brush your teeth, whatever, you do all these things. Then you get to a point where you have to make a decision. And this decision is something that you either have to take another sequence of statements or some other sequence of statements, right? So you kind of have to make a decision whether you either go left or right. Okay, let me draw this perfectly, somewhat perfectly, right? And then at one point, you come back here in the middle, and then you get to the end. So the idea here is, again, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you eat breakfast, then you make a decision. Do I either go to work, which let's say is the right path, or do I go to school, which is the left path? Why do you choose which one depends upon what happens here, right? There's a decision. You make a decision. We do this in our everyday life. We do every time in our life and every day of our lives. We have to make decisions. Some decisions are very impactful and significant. Some decisions, not so much. Sometimes you have to decide whether, you should take this job or not, major decision. Or sometimes it's just as, should I eat a hamburger or should I eat pizza? Not so much of a major decision. So in here, we have a decision. And that decision, we make it, and depending on that decision, we follow another path. And within this path, we kind of have also what? We have a sequence of statements that get executed too, right? And so if we take the right path, what do? Well, we do these statements. And if we take the left path, well, we do these statements. And once we complete whichever path we took, we go back and we join in to go and reach our end. So in the incoming videos, when we talk about selection, one of the major topics where we're going to spend a lot of time is really what's the difference between this one and this one. Well, the only difference really is in here. How do we, inside of our programming language, structure decisions? How do I, inside of my programming language, say, oh, you can do this if this happens, or you can do this other thing if this other thing happens? So we'll spend a quite significant amount of videos talking about this purple thing that I drew here, of how we can branch out and do different things based on some condition, based on something that happens that we have to decide, do I take one path or the other? And the last programming structure, which I think is somewhat a derivation of selection, is called looping. So the reason why I say it's similar to selection is because we also have a start, right? I mean, we have a start for everything, and then we also have an end, because everything has also an end. And we also start by doing some kind of, sequence of lines. And let's just say that we have some here. And then at one point, just like selection, we have to make a decision. Now, the difference between this decision and the decision in selection is that in looping, we either decide to continue going forward, which we go towards the end, right? So that's the decision that we make, which means just go forward. Or what we say is, no, I want you to go back and then start again from a particular point, right? So again, using the real life example is that imagine that you wake up, you get out of bed, you eat breakfast, you brush your teeth first, then you eat breakfast, then you go to the gym, and let's just say that in here, these things inside that we see here is the stuff you do in the gym. So you lift some weights, you go jog a little bit, you use this machine, that machine, and then you get to the decision and you say, do I leave the gym and that's it, I'm done? Or do I go back around and I start doing these reps again because I still have energy? So then let's say that you go back and then you repeat this thing. So you do it again. You lift again, you jog. Then you get to the decision and you say, should I do it another time? Yes, you should. So then you go around again, and then you do it another time, and then you do this as many times as you need to until you run out of energy, until they close the gym, until something happens where this decision here now says, you know what, it is time to go home. Now I'm going to head towards the end. So notice that for both, in looping and in selection, there's this purple decision. And I made it purple because they are the same. They work the same way. And we'll spend a couple of videos just discussing what exactly this purple thing means. With these three programming structures, you're able to do a ton of things. I would say you can write any application that you can think of with these three. Certainly, there are other ways to structure code. But with these three are very fundamental. You will see these over and over and over and over again. Now, if you look at these three programming structures, notice that sequential was this thing on the left. But this thing alone, just this piece alone, that's a sequential, just alone. If we ignore everything underneath that, this top piece, that's sequential, right? And if we look at if we just look at these things right here, that's also a sequence. That's a sequential. And if we look at this thing right here, well, that's also a sequence. That's sequential. And if we go to looping, well, you also get a sequence right here. You get a sequence right here. And you get a sequence right here. So when it comes to selection, the only thing that selection is this piece right here. It's that purple thing. And when we go to looping, notice that the thing that we only look at is this piece right here, which is the purple thing, except that we go back up and repeat some steps. In either way, we are combining things. Sequential is part of the other two programming structures. And what I want you to get from this is that you're able to combine these programming structures to do a variety of things. Alright, so in the next coming videos, we're going to spend a little bit of time on sequential. Then we'll talk about selection. In particular, what exactly do we do with this purple decision? And then we'll go to looping. And then, of course, we'll see how we actually code these things. Okay? So, if you found this video useful and you don't mind, leave a like. If you have a question, feel free to leave a comment below. If you're new to this channel, check out the video series, check out the channel, and if you like what you see, subscribe, be safe, and peace out.